Welcome to another edition of Fantasy News. I am your host, Daniel Greene, and today we have quite the gambit of fantasy news. And let's go ahead and dive into a rumor, and I do want to make it very clear this is still just a rumor at this point. In fact, I would go as far as to say the website it comes from is rather sketchy, but it is being reported there is a possible animated series in development over at Netflix for The Witcher. The reason I want to stress so much this is a rumor is it doesn't entirely seem like something that's completely likely to me. I don't feel like before their show is even confirmed to be critically received well or a success, Netflix would be doubling down and trying to have another show which could pull attention away from the live action one they've poured a ton of resources into. That's not to say I'm completely against the idea, I'm fine with it, but it just would be a strange move I don't completely understand or get behind. But a more positive confirmed Witcher news, the director has said the performance for Ciri is luminous. And in sci-fi news, it is being reported that the third season of Star Trek Discovery will cover the future of the Federation in the 32nd century. As it is well known in the Star Trek community, this series has already been divisive, having multiple plot holes occur, then trying to cover them up in ways that fans seem to like, but those who are critical of it seem to be very disparaging of. I kind of fall into the latter group, though I'm not passionate enough to firmly debate anybody on the merits of Star Trek Discovery. I'm not caught up on it, I was pretty much just turned off by season 1. But having it cover the future of the Federation is an idea that I'm rather okay with. I didn't like what I heard happened in season 2, and from what Red Letter Media has been saying, I have no interest in catching up. But if season 3 is critically received well, and all the fans seem to be okay with this idea, I might give it a sneak peek, because I do really love Star Trek deep down. But why don't we go ahead and transition into superhero news and trailer news and get that out of the way so we can get in the more die-hard fantasy news we have coming down the road. A bunch of promotional photos were released for the upcoming Birds of Prey movie, or honestly, God, from the look of it, this should just be called the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn movie, because all the promotional material is very much so focused around her, their most recognizable character. And in addition to these promo photos, we also had a trailer drop. Yes, another one, this one giving us a lot more looks at a lot more characters and lines of dialogue.
You know what a Harlequin is? A Harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. No one gives two shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Really, it was more substantive than what we've seen before, and I actually like this one quite a bit. I would go ahead and say it's actually nailing the vibe that Suicide Squad was trying to go for and missed by such a large mark. This one seems a lot more fun, engaging, competently made. I'm actually pretty down for this one as of right now. It looks good. It looks interesting. I'm definitely going to be going to see Birds of Prey based off of this trailer, and assuming early critical reactions are positive. And in other promo news, we had a promo drop for Stranger Things Season 4, something I am very excited about. I was kind of dreading season 3, but with how positive it turned out to be, I was really looking forward to season 4, but this promo is just the logo multiple times with a couple of words, so I didn't really love that. That wasn't great. I'd say it's one of the worst promos I've seen. But hey, I'm still looking forward to season 4, and I think the setup they have for this final endeavor will be quite nice. And in the final bit of trailer news, we had a trailer drop for another upcoming Stephen King-related adaptation, Castle Rock.
We're searchers, you and me. But you deserve a chance to make a place in the world. See, I'm a searcher who just wants to settle. Wants it bad. Just can't seem to find that place that'll live up to you, my perfection.
I don't know how many adaptations that is for King coming down the road. I have a range of emotions towards several of them. I think the two I'm most excited for are the Stand miniseries for sure, followed up kind of closely by Dr. Sleep, but that's mainly because Ewan McGregor's involved, and if it's good, I'm looking forward to seeing what more we can get out of that story that has left such a huge impact on the horror genre. It is now being reported that Nat Wolff is joining CBS's The Stand. This makes sense. He has worked with Josh Boone, the director and head of the show, multiple times before in projects like Stuck in Love and The Fault in Our Stars. And in the final bit of adaptation news, Nancy Stevens is returning for the Halloween franchise. That's neat. Honestly, the only reason I'm really covering this is I would like a little bit of discussion in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel about when these names of the big returning actors or even the small minor characters drop, because there's been a whole lot of that recently. And sometimes I like it, like with the recent Jurassic Park news of that trio returning to Jurassic World. That's neat. But sometimes it does feel a bit more... Like, I don't mean to talk down to this actress or anything like that. I like the Halloween franchise and her performance is great. But I'm more just curious as to why it would be a big headline. And sometimes to me, it does feel maybe a bit more reaching towards that, oh, get excited, please. We're getting people from the original involved, even though they weren't really necessary key to its success. But let's go ahead and jump into the hardcore fantasy news here. Fellow booktuber Beckle Panda went ahead and released a full in-depth reading guide for Robin Hobb, which of course will be linked down below. I'm personally going to be getting to Robin Hobb soon, so I found it very useful. And for those of you who like to be reading along with me, I can't recommend a better resource right now than this reading guide, which is linked down below. Thank you very much for doing this, and I appreciate it immensely. It appears that Games Workshop and Marvel are going to be collaborating on an upcoming Warhammer comic book series. I've heard the Warhammer books are great, and there is a lot of lore to pull from. Marvel has arguably the greatest resource pool of any comic publisher out there, rivaled only by very few, so this is a fantastic resource for Games Workshop to be partnering up with to create a new series of comics. That's just great. And for you Warhammer fans out there, don't worry, I will eventually get to your massive world after I'm done finishing covering the Malazan series in like a year. So that will be coming, just way down the road. Way down the road. And speaking of comic book adaptations, we are getting a relaunch of the Game of Thrones comic books that are based off the TV show. It says that in very bold letters on the actual cover you see here. So this is not based specifically off A Song of Ice and Fire, but the TV show it appears. I'm not super familiar with these comics, but it is a relaunch. I'm not sure why exactly that's happening, but for those of you who do like collecting fantasy comics, this seems to be something that is definitely worth checking out. And for the Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell fans out there, it seems the next 2 Susanna Clarke books will be published by Bloomsburg globally. I'm not familiar with this publisher, but cool. I love to see an author who found great success before returning with new works. But now for the biggest story of the day. New Mistborn covers were announced. They look like what is currently on screen going by, and I honestly can say my overall review is they look pretty good. I don't hate them or necessarily love them as much as the Cosmere covers we've seen with their very much stronger stylization. But these ones do have their own unique personality to them, and I don't not like them. They're very nice. But I do find it very funny that the first book doesn't even have the Final Empire on it. It's just Mistborn now, apparently, officially. There's no The Final Empire. Just Mistborn. Have we just all forgotten that it was originally called The Final Empire? Apparently so. It's Mistborn now, guys. I've never seen a book change title like that. Not that it officially is. I don't know if it's officially changing title or anything like that. But let me know what you think of these new Mistborn covers in the comments down below. I like them quite a bit, but I don't know if I will particularly go out of my way to pick up these new editions. I'm very happy with the ones right back there that are the UK covers and the Cosmere related ones. All have a similar vibe to them. But anyway, this has been your latest fantasy news. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. I will be getting back to working on my latest short story, Snowdrift, soon, and it should be up on the Patreon in the near future. Have a good one, y'all. Peace!